Hi guys, it's Stu here, and I just want to first of all thank everyone who's taken the time to answer the three questions that I asked in the original post on October the 31st. Um, there's a few things I would want to address before we start going through some of the questions, or some of the answers rather, that some of you have put down. And there's a lot of commonality with a lot of these questions, or answers I should say, that you guys have placed, which is good because then that allows me to record specific videos for you guys, and then hopefully we can narrow down some of the issues that you're having, and fingers crossed we can address them as well, which would be great. What I want to explain is that this is a free course, that the idea behind it was that it's not in a way looking to replace any of the training that you've had. It's more of a case of looking at a lot of the common problems that traders have that stop them from becoming well, in some respects it stops a lot of people from trading full stop. And it's great having training, it's great having, you know, the training that you get from from Insight or from anywhere else. You know, it's this course I aim to be different in terms of that we have this discussion between one another, in that for instance, this video being the first one, I put up a video and I look to hopefully address some of the problems that you guys have. And then you tell me whether that kind of works for you or doesn't. You know, I don't want it to be a slanging match. Obviously, I don't want you guys to say, "Oh, that's not bloody working for me. You're useless. You're absolutely useless." You got to understand that, you know, we have to be pretty broad sometimes with some of these. We can't be completely too specific to one person's requirements. So we have to find a commonality with everyone. And so this is really, I want to just nail down the first video that you guys want me to record. And I'll be going through some of the, you know, literally just scrolling through some of the replies that we've got from you guys, and I will then look to say, you know, well, is this the area that you want me to first cover? You know, is this the most sort of pressing problem that a lot of you are having? And the other thing that I want this course to hopefully be is that we start addressing all these problems, and by addressing them and you guys coming back to me, we then really start to focus down on a lot of the issues that may not be immediately apparent, and may not be immediately apparent to me either. And by doing that, we can then create a library of videos that are really powerful, in that we can highlight problems that are so common but hard to address, because how they're being addressed at the moment is through what people believe the issues are. Whereas here we're using a sort of a discussion, a two-way process, where I'm saying to you, is this it? Is this working for you? Or is this the problem that you're having from what I've read? Is this where you want me to concentrate for a while? And then, you know, I'll do a few videos, and then through your feedback, you tell me what issue you're having with that particular aspect that we're covering, and then, you know, I then do another video, and if there is a commonality with a lot of the replies that we're getting, then, you know, we then create another video trying to address those problems. And that library becomes really powerful, because it's really narrowing down a lot of the issues that many traders have. Not just, you know, there's thankfully a lot of you have posted up your replies to my questions. But I know there's an awful lot of other people that are simply just watching this forum, this blog, with a view of, hopefully, probably they're just a bit too shy to come out and say what their issues are, but would benefit from that. So that's the other aim. So going through some of the, the questions. The most obvious one for question one was what made you learn to trade, and I know the answer to this because it was very similar to what mine was, and that's to look to get initially a second income. Now, in some respects, that very few people turn around to me and say, I want to be rich, I want to be this awesome trader that's going to be a gazillionaire overnight. Most of us, me included, are just normal people that would just like a good second income that would then hopefully become a prime income, a primary income. And that then sort of leads to a whole quality of life, where that balance shifts from commute to work 9 till 5 or whatever hours you guys work, because I know you all work different hours, and then come home, feel completely exhausted, have your dinner, and then there's that whole sort of, almost when you really don't like your job, and I know what that's like, where you're sort of almost, as soon as you've had your dinner and you're relaxing, however you may want to relax. I know an awful lot of people watch TV. I tend not to watch a lot of TV. You're relaxing, and your mind wanders to the following day. And the worst one is at the weekend, when you're Saturday's wonderful, all hell like breaks loose, but you still have a lot of chores and work to do. Sunday sometimes spent gardening, and then sort of Sunday starts to creep onwards, and then you start thinking about Monday, and then that whole Monday feeling comes in, and you think, oh, for God's sake, gotta go to work tomorrow. I don't, there's a film on late I wouldn't mind watching, but I can't watch it because I gotta go to bloody work, and I don't like a job. And everyone's miserable on a Monday, and you really don't like the person that's happy on a Monday because they have no life. So anyway, going off on one there. So yeah, I know what that's like, and I know and understand, where that desire comes from, having initially just in a second income, and then looking to then have that second income become your primary income, and then that becoming your job. So perhaps with some of these videos, with addressing a lot of these issues that you guys are having, we can then look to, get some profitable trades and get that understanding. But most people are really sensible about it. It's a case of that, I don't want to become a multi-billionaire. I don't want that. I just want the ability to have just maybe have my bills paid, or my mortgage paid, or my car loan paid. And those are good, valid goals. Those are the real ones that you should initially aim for with your trading. The initial thing that you really should, before you even really perhaps think of those ones, is all I want to learn, all I want to get from my trading at the moment is an understanding of exactly why I am entering and exiting trades. And by doing that, by understanding, not trading blind, by trading in such a way that it is it's try and think of the word, it's not formulaic, it's more of a case of, well, it's kind of sticking to a plan, which is one of the other things that we will start to cover. It's a case of understanding and knowing that you understand the tools and techniques and methods used. That's the important thing, because there's an awful lot of misunderstanding. And I think part of the nature of the training that we at Insight Support and everyone else provides as well is there is a a lack of people wanting to seek support. We believe we understand something, and because we believe we understand something, we don't bother seeking support because we believe we understand it. And tutors like myself can only really work to a degree on what you provide me, and this is what gave me this idea. So it's a case of really making sure that you guys understand what you perhaps believe you understand, but is in fact perhaps a little clouded or perhaps a little bit misunderstood, and what there is with and what causes that. And I have this from, this is from experience. So I've taught a lot of people over time, but what it is there's an eagerness. You start off with the course, you're all excited, you perhaps have slight dreams of grandeur. We all have it, when we start anything new. Certainly a course that says, claims it can make you money, and I have many people that do make money, and equally there are many people that don't make money. That's just the sum of what trading is like. I can give you all the tools, the techniques, methods, analysis, information, and God knows what else, but two people will take that information and treat it differently. But what happens is when you start to learn, and it's a course that's designed in such a way where the onus is a lot of it on you to do it, and to get the most of it, you have to seek support and clarification a lot of the time. And unfortunately, not many people do that. And the reason being is that we're so eager to move on to the next module, the next thing. We want to get to the meat and the meat and veg rather, where we're trading, where we're making money. And that eagerness causes a misinformation in what you're learning, because you think you understand how the techniques and methods works, and the analysis works, but not really understanding that analysis is really partly about how you are as a person, how you are, how you interpret that. It's like someone interpreting a painting. This is probably a relatively good analogy. We all see different things in paintings, and some people, that would analyze it and say, well, I see trees, and some others, would say, well, I not only see trees, but I understand the emotion that's being delivered through the color and all that. And that's what analysis of chart data is very much alike. It's a case of you have all the tools, and it's great understanding how that tool works, but do you understand that given a certain situation, that tool might be invalid, or but it's only through experience and through trading that you would understand where and when that would happen, and how and when to ignore them altogether. Sometimes analysis is more to do with how you physically see the chart and how you read it, rather than the reliance of analytical tools. And there is an over reliance on analytical tools, and despite me, I'm in the process now of writing a course called the Master Certificate in Technical Analysis, and that's where I'm taking everything that I know, and everything beyond of what I know, and putting that in it as in the course as well, and creating a huge amount of education on analysis, so that when you look at a chart, it's not a case of, all right, well, this indicator's doing X and this indicator's doing Y. You'll see a chart and you'll begin to see it how I see charts, whereas I can see a chart instantly, and I can understand what's happened in that chart, where the consolidations are, where the supports and resistances are, and I know all that automatically simply by looking at it in a split second. And then I'll know what techniques and methods to use to best utilize that information that I'm seeing on the chart. Sometimes moving averages would work better, sometimes just using the supports and resistances would be better, sometimes using Gann, sometimes Elliott Wave. There's a whole gamut of things that you can use. So, this rather long extension of what I'm saying is that we all kind of rush through, and through the desire of wanting to answer that question is, can I make money at doing this? And you can. Not everyone can. We have to understand that as well. It's not for everyone, because I think technical analysis gives it the wrong impression that all you have to do is apply a certain number of indicators and the rest is easy and you press a button and make a trade. Trading is not like that at all. Trading has a huge amount to do with you as a person, probably more so you as a person than your application of the techniques and methods that we at Insight teach. And hopefully these videos will help address some of that, and that's what I aim to address on there. So that's sort of question one. Kind of, a lot of you are just saying a second income, a second reliable income. So I understand where you're coming from with that, but it's understanding that you have to be kind of realistic with that. And your initial goal should be making sure that you fully understand the methods and how those are used. That should be your first sort of primary goal, really. And then the goals from then, from when you actually are trading, should be these good solid wouldn't it be good if it just paid our food bill? Or wouldn't it be good? I just want it to pay my mortgage. That's all I want it to do. It's probably quite a grand goal, actually. But something to say your car loan. I just want it to pay my car loan. And those are really good ways of just initially having a target. But also understanding that don't expect it to pay your car loan in the first month. Understand also that perhaps that goal may not be reached for a few months. But once you start seeing that happen, once you start understanding how this is working, and you're learning about trading through actually doing it, and you're starting to reach these goals, you can then start to add bigger and greater goals by doing that. You have to understand it's not going to happen overnight. And by doing it in such a way that it doesn't happen overnight, it's better for you in the long run.